Male testosterone levels.
He says male testosterone levels. What did this statement say explicitly? They did not undergo a testosterone examination. He's either lying, he's repeating whatever his Russian handlers told him, or he's just completely making that up because it sounds right.
Actually going through male puberty and legit just being male.
How do you go through male puberty if you have androgen insensitivity?
Confusion there.
Yeah, the confusion is you have no idea what you're talking about. We don't even know if she has this. They could have underdeveloped testes all the way to, I'm pretty sure they can have uteruses and can literally have children.
I mean, these are males.
Who knows, maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand them a little crypto check, right? We'll hand them a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
But how do you...
They think it's good.
Hand who a Bitcoin? Who does he think holds the majority of the United States debt? I want an hour. Here's how Trump wins my vote. I would do it because it would be so amazing. I would vote for Trump if he did this. I want Donald Trump to give 12 one-hour seminars on different topics relating to what you should know as president. So I want an hour-long lecture on Trump of macroecon. I want an hour-long lecture from Trump on just like an overview of world history. I want like an hour-long lecture from Donald Trump on like just on all these. I would love to hear him talk about anything for an hour where he has to explain it. I would just love it. Okay, I would love it. I would vote for him if he released that. I would vote for him. That's what you need for my vote, and I'll tell my audience to vote too.
Weird ones, and if you've ever seen her with the laugh and everything else, that's a weird deal going on there. They're the weird ones. Nobody's ever called me weird. I'm a lot of things, but weird I'm not, and I'm up front, and he's not either, I will tell you. JD is not at all. They are. Well, they're the weird ones, and if you've ever seen her with the laugh and everything else, that's a weird deal going on.
Over the past 12 hours, I've had a series of productive conversations with members of the Trump's team, and I am confident he will be the strong ally gun owners need to defend our Second Amendment rights. My comments made last night were ill-informed and unproductive. I'm 100% behind Donald Trump and encourage every gun owner to join me in helping send him back to the White House. Oh my God. Cringe. Oh, I guess it happens on the left and right then. The social pressure. There it is. You're seeing it in real time. That's the social pressure, boys.
From the Daily Mail, Olympic Committee releases statement on Imane Khelif after biologically male boxer destroyed female rival Angela Carini in 46 seconds. I mean, you watch this video and this dude is just like, boom, right in her face. And it was so hard. She immediately just like, I'm done. I am not going to fight. So you can see her in the bottom left. It says 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's a 3-minute start. So this is about 40 seconds in. Watch what happens.
Okay, wait. Sorry, I'm somewhat new to your opinion. Do you agree that intersex is a genetic condition, but people with perfectly good sex chromosomes needs to stop pretending to be the other sex? No, I think that what conservatives said was true. If you've got a vagina, then you're a woman. So whoever this person is, whether you're intersex or not, shouldn't matter, right? But also keep in mind, there's no evidence even that that this person even has different chromosomes or is intersex or anything like that. But conservatives have completely forfeited the right to talk about intersex or anything whatsoever. Remember, you guys were the subhuman Neanderthal dipshit retards that screeched for years and years on that "what is a woman? What is a woman? What is a woman?" question. Now all of a sudden, you guys want to have an incredibly nuanced and intricate view of the biology of, well, what if chromosomes don't match the sex? In your world, that wasn't possible or it didn't matter. So you forfeited completely the right to have that conversation. So I wouldn't even entertain. I think I would just bully them or make fun of them. If a conservative even wanted to entertain that conversation, you've lost your seat at the table for that one. People said that she was disqualified against a Russian boxer. Why didn't the Olympics verify the evidence against her before disqualifying her? Who disqualified her? The Olympics had never disqualified her. What are you talking about? Or I'm not aware of that, unless that happened this morning. Okay. So she defeated, in the round of 16, she beat Azalea. And then in the quarterfinals, she beat Navbakor. And then she lost in the semifinals to Janjam Suwanafeng or whatever.
From the Daily Mail, Olympic Committee releases statement on Imane Khelif after biologically male boxer destroyed female rival Angela Carini in 46 seconds. I mean, you watch this video and this dude is just like, boom, right in her face. And it was so hard. She immediately just like, I'm done. I am not going to fight. And we actually have the video.
Oh, it's the libertarian girl that doesn't know how to read. Based. I think this is the one, right? from the Pure Show. Oh, and then this is Gabby? Is she the woman from the Babylonian Bee? Am I making that up? The one at the bottom right? Oh, is this not the Libertarian girl? Oh, I just see redhead girl.
So you can see here in the bottom left, it says 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's a 3-minute start. So this is about 40 seconds in. Watch what happens.
Solid, straight right hand.
Just like that, they call the match. I think I might have another tweet. There's her crying. There's running against. I don't think I have the other. There's other clips of it, but that's basically it. So at 46 seconds in, she bows out. Now, the controversy here is that Imane Khelif, as well as another competitor whose I believe his name is Lin Yu-ting. Yeah, Lin Yu-ting, they both tested biologically male. XY chromosomes is what the a statement from the World Boxing Association, or whatever the organization is called, like a world.
So he doesn't know the name of the organization. He has no idea what the statement was. My understanding is, from the statements that we looked, I couldn't find a single statement by any organization that claimed that she tested positive or tested with XY chromosomes. I couldn't see that anywhere. The only thing that I saw that on was there is a Russian news org or something called TASS, and in a statement to this place, the Kremlev said that they saw XY chromosomes in a single person statement to this Russian news site. That's it. So I don't know what he's citing there, because the IBA statements, none of the IBA statements reference a particular test or reference XY chromosomes. So, for instance, on the 31st, the IBA made a statement saying that the decision was made. Point to note, the athletes did not undergo a testosterone examination, but were subject to a separate and recognized test whereby the specifics remain confidential. It says the test conclusively indicated that both athletes did not meet the required necessary eligibility criteria and were found to have competitive advantages over other female competitors. That's it. And then it talks about the two tests, but it only says it was performed during the IBA Women's World Boxing Championships in Istanbul in 2022, and then performed during the Women's World Boxing Championships in New Delhi in 2023. That's it. So maybe Tim has another source that he's going to point to, but
Y chromosomes is what the a statement from the World Boxing Association, or whatever the organization is called, like a World Boxing Championship, said.
You don't think that it's worth it to even know what the you're talking about before you go ahead and offer an opinion on, like, this is why I hate breaking news. No, this isn't really about breaking news. It's about Tim Pool being a piece of shit. But, like, couldn't you at least know, like, who, like, what we're talking about? Like, who are the organizations? What are the statements being made? Like, couldn't we bring those up? Couldn't you, like, open that instead of going on one article from the Mail Online, maybe?
Y chromosomes, and they had male testosterone levels. And so they were disqualified and had their medals stripped, I believe.
So again, yeah, he says male testosterone levels, right? What did this statement say explicitly? They did not undergo a testosterone examination, right? He's either lying, he's repeating whatever his Russian handlers told him, or he's just completely making that up because it sounds right. He has no idea, unless he's referencing a different thing that he just hasn't brought up yet. But
from previous fights, they are still allowed to compete in the Olympics because the Olympics criteria is that your passport says F. That was it. And so they put out this statement, and this has led a lot of people to say, hold on, this may not be cut and dried. These may be intersex individuals. Well, I believe now what the...
Wait, what? Hold on.
May not be cut and dried. And so they put out this statement. Criteria is that your passport says F. That was it. And so they put out this statement, and this has led a lot of people to say, hold on, this may not be cut and dried. These may be intersex individuals. Well, I don't
think nothing that the IOC said, maybe other people are saying this, but other people claiming they might be intersex, this is all just done speculatively. You have no idea. You just don't know. You're just speculation.
I believe now what the narrative is that they're suffering from something called DSD. I believe the general idea is that they have an insensitivity at some degree to testosterone, resulting in the development of a female structure in the womb, despite them having internal testes, male chromosomes, and actually going through male puberty and legit just being male.
How do you go through male puberty if you have androgen insensitivity? What?
a female structure in the womb, despite them having internal testes, male chromosomes, and actually going through male puberty and legit just being male. And so the Olympics has released this statement. Joint Paris 2024 Boxing Unit IOC statement. Every person has the right to practice sport without discrimination. All athletes participating in the boxing tournament of the Olympic Games Paris.
Also, I don't believe they always have male testes. This getting into the big genetics differentiation here this is more complicated than what I typically dive into, and I haven't done like a whole bunch of reading on this. But I believe that people that present with this gonadal dysgenesis, this XY female male shit, which by the way, we don't even know if she has this. We don't even know, right? But I'm pretty sure that this runs the gamut all the way from they could have like kind of undeveloped or underdeveloped testes in the that are still in their body and haven't descended, all the way to I'm pretty sure they can have uteruses and can literally have children. I think I linked a tweet that showed like standard of care for people of these, that they can have pregnancies and the pregnancies run like extra risks or whatever. But like, yeah, it's a huge. There's a gamut of like how impactful this can even be. This is a very, very, very rare syndrome also. 1 in 100,000 females. A rare case of Sewer syndrome in two sisters with successful pregnancy outcome in both. Sewer syndrome is a disorder of sex development characterized by gonadal dysgenesis in a phenotypic female with normally developed Mullerian structures but a 46XY karyotype resulting from failure of testicular development in the early embryogenesis. Jesus. You can have X-linked, Y-linked, or autosomal inheritance. We had a case of two sisters presented with primary amenorrhea and primary infertility. On investigation, both had hypergonadotropic hypergonadism, 46XY karyotype, and streak gonads. They conceived following in vitro fertilization with ovum donation. Prophylactic, Jesus Christ, has been done on counsel with this one. Okay. Means they overproduce sex hormones, hypergonad. Okay, sure. But anyway, this is like really complicated, like intersex-ish things. Even intersex is like super well defined, but like, yeah, just
right to practice sport without discrimination. All athletes participating in the boxing tournament of the Olympic Games Paris 2024 comply with the competition's eligibility and entry regulations, as well as all applicable medical regulations set by Paris's 2024 Boxing Unit, PBU. As with previous Olympic boxing competitions, the gender and age of these athletes are based on their passport. Well, okay. These rules all
practice wrong.
What up here with like the British? Is that? I just assumed that was like the British spelling of it.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Taylor's only here for American spelling.
They say the rules also apply during the qualification period, including the boxing tournaments of the 2023 European Games, Asian Games, Pan American Games, and Pacific Games, the ad hoc 2023 African qualifying tournament, et cetera, et cetera. We'll skip ahead. They say the PBU used the Tokyo 2022 rules as the baseline. They're going to mention that these individuals did compete 4 years ago, and I mentioned this in my previous coverage a couple days ago. They say we have seen in reports misleading information about two female athletes competing at the Olympic Games Paris 2024. Full stop. They're saying female, despite the fact that official gender testing from the World Championship Boxing Association is that they tested male. So confusion there.
Yeah, the confusion is you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know what the IBA is. You don't know who did the test. You don't know what the testing was for. You don't know what their statements are about that. You've gotten basically every single fact about this story you've gotten incorrect. Not even because you're stupid, but, well, because you're either lazy or evil, okay? You've gotten every part of this story incorrect. We're 3.5 minutes in, and you're literally 5 minutes of Googling away from having all the information that you're wrong about. Like,
the two athletes have been competing in international boxing competitions for many years in the women's category, including the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. They say International Boxing Association World Championships and IBA-sanctioned tournaments. I believe that's who actually said no and stripped them of their titles. These two athletes were victims of a sudden and arbitrary decision by the IBA. Toward the end of the IBA World Championships in 2023, they were suddenly disqualified without any due process. According to the IBA minutes available on their website, this decision was initially taken solely by the IBA Secretary General and CEO. The IBA board only ratified it afterwards and only subsequently requested that a procedure to follow in similar cases in the future should be established and reflected in the IBA regulations. The minutes also say that the IBA should establish a clear procedure for on gender testing. The current aggression against these
I wonder if he'll engage with anything about this paragraph whatsoever. Is he going to engage with any of this, or is he just going to read it at the end and say like, wow, it sounds like the IOC, it sounds like they're full of a bunch of woke copers who don't want to admit that a man is beating a woman.
Two athletes is based entirely on this arbitrary decision, which was taken without any proper procedure, especially considering that these athletes had been competing in top-level competition for many years. They say such an approach is contrary to good governance. They go on to say the IOC has made it clear that it needs national boxing federations to reach a consensus around new international federation in order for boxing to be included on the sports program. Blah, blah, blah. They're there to protect human rights, etc.
I'm curious about your thoughts on the race of Kamala Harris. Why are they obfuscating her heritage? Her great-great-grandmother was a slave of Hamilton Brown, and her father's mother is 100% Irish. Should she keep claiming black heritage? I don't know what the any part of that message is, but thanks for the $70, I guess. I think that I think that it's a huge issue, actually. And I think that conservatives should keep continuing to obsess about her race and keep saying that she sucked to get to where she was. I think that's a winning strategy by conservatives, and I think it's really serving them well that they should keep obsessing over her race and the birth certificate stuff and saying she was born in another country. I think that's probably the most damaging way that conservatives can attack Kamala Harris. So yeah, man. Wow, I hope they don't keep hitting her on the craziest, most sexist, racist insults they can over and over and over again, because I'm sure it's doing real well with their base right now.
Et cetera. And so now there's a big controversy, right? J.K. Rowling has chimed in. We have this Algeria.
Oh, you're not going to engage whatsoever? You're not going to engage whatsoever with that IOC statement? You're just going to read it to say that you did, and then that's it?
FC Football Club says, cry more. It's a picture of Angela Carini of Italy crying. Riley Gaines, not Taylor Silverman, Riley Gaines, shout out to Taylor. 137.4 million views, 135,000 retweets on. Men don't belong in women's sports. Stand with Angela Carini. Let's get it trending. Well, I'm going to pause right there, and I'm going to try.
This is Russian psyops, bro. It must be, right? Like, this is the issue. Anytime we can exaggerate it, right? The guy is a Russian stooge. The IBA is a Russian stooge organization that gets paid by Gazprom, right? They released a statement the day before the fight. This is Russian bullshit, 100%. It absolutely is. Do you think people should be attacking or harassing the woman who lost? No. Why would you even ask me that question? No, of course not.
Try and be as offensive to literally everybody as possible, and I do not stand with Angela Carini. I do not stand with anybody who supports men fighting women. I do not stand with anybody who believes that males should be entitled to female sporting spaces. I disagree with that, and that includes even if it's coming from Carini. She said that she forfeited the match because her nose was hurting. She did not say she forfeited the match because she was up against a biological male. And in defeat, Carini said, quote, I wish her to carry on until the end and that she can be happy. I am someone who doesn't judge anyone. I am not here to give judgments. That's just me. I'm not going to stand with feminists who think it's okay that biological males punch women in the face. That's just me. I don't know what you guys think.
Wow.
This is a weird case because if it's, so the fighter in question, Khelif, is from Algeria, and Algeria doesn't change people's gender on their passport to accommodate transgenderism, which would mean presumably this person has always been classified by the government as female.
Well, but what if the woke people snuck them in, right?
Which again makes me think this is an intersex case, and there had been that intersex runner from South Africa.
Caster Semenya or whatever. Yeah, let's bring up her every single time. Yeah.
In the past, and I remember it was a big controversy because at the time the Olympics would test hormone levels, and intersex athletes who were classified as female but had high levels of testosterone had to take birth control to lower their testosterone. At the time, the runner didn't want to do it. And so it's always been this weird issue where and sometimes the transgender ideology movement includes intersex people and sometimes they don't, right? Because it depends on what they're actually feeling. But being transgender seems very different for me than being someone born with very complicated XY or XX.
Oh, careful. Now, Now we're diving into the nuances of sex. I thought it was as easy as do they have a vag or not? Is it XY chromosomes? I thought it was that simple. Now conservatives want to have a super nuanced and intricate dive into what is a woman.
XY or whatever.
Well,
chromosomes.
there's Caster Semenya.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's a South African runner.
Yeah.
And again, it's very weird. If a different committee, a different sport had said your testosterone levels are too high, no matter how you were raised or whatever, how you're classified, then that seems like it's an ongoing issue. But the Olympics has changed their standards for this issue in a lot of ways, especially as it's gone from being about intersex people who have, issues with hormones and genitalia and all kinds of stuff versus like someone who just in their mind has decided they are not whatever sex they are biologically born.
This is not a transgender issue at all.
Oh boy, he's about to break it down. Is he going to try to say this is... Okay, hold on. It's not. Let's try to think. Okay, I don't know where he's going to go from here. Let me see. Is he going to say, this isn't a transgender, this is a women's rights issue. This is a women's sports issue. Or this is a woke control issue? Women's rights are woke control? I don't know where he's going to go. Those are my guesses. Let's see.
Not at all. And I was saying this days ago. When the story first broke that the Olympics were going to allow biological males to compete against women, I stressed there is no evidence to suggest these are transgender individuals. They are literally just males. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that's likely the case. Now, the argument is...
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't even consider that. They're not trans. They're just like lying about their gender completely. Not like in a trans way they're lying, but they're just like actually just men. My bad. I didn't even consider that was an option. My bad. Okay.
They were born and presumed female, which actually is an argument for a lot of the left on the whole issue, but presents a serious problem in sports. They have male testosterone levels. They have male physical...
We have no evidence of that right now.
...advantages.
We have no evidence of that right now.
They are biologically male, except...
We have no evidence of that at all.
...for what's called DSD.
DSD has nothing to do... There was an article right now, but we don't know if she has DSD or if she's got that. We have no evidence of that either.
I suppose that's what it's being referred to.
Mm-hmm. That's nothing is being referred to that in relation to her. There was just an article published about it, but we don't know anything about her hormones or any. We don't have any of that information.
And so it's males. And so how do we handle this? Hey, look, man, I don't know. I can certainly tell you that the one thing I really do not like about a lot of the conservatives in this regard is they continually defend progressives and feminists, and I just don't get it. Like, imagine if Kamala Harris got sniffed by Joe Biden and complained about it. I mean, we'd be like, it's really bad that he did that. We get it. But then she immediately came around.
He's your guy.
No, but then she immediately turned around and said, no, it's good that he's sniffing all these women. Then I'd be like, okay, well, then you got what you wanted. I mean, I don't understand. If she's defending it and she supports it, why would you defend her? Karini, people are going to make the argument that, she's forced to say these things or whatever. If a feminist says she wants to fight a guy, gets in the ring with that guy and fights him, not a single conservative would defend her. I don't understand why they're defending her now.
Well, she doesn't have a backbone, and I think that shows. I mean, she will never compete again if she comes out and says something, but look at what Riley Gaines did, and that's exactly what we need from these girls. It's like she's literally saying that she hopes that this man goes on and beats the crap out of a bunch of different women and wins the gold medal, which is absolutely insane. And if you're, how hormones work, these people were born male even if there were complications. You can't just inject testosterone and become a male even if that was the case, but they have elevated DHT.
Why are you even talking about you have any fucking idea? We don't even know what she's born with. You have no idea. Why the fuck would you even speculate? You have no idea what issue she may or may not have. You have no clue. And
just inject testosterone and become a male even if that was the case, but they have elevated DHT levels, elevated testosterone levels. It's going to make them literally testes.
You don't know that. You have no idea about that, though. You really don't know that, right?
I mean, these are males, no matter the complications or anything. So now we're glorifying on the national stage of what's supposed to be the highest, held regard sports in the world, that men are literally abusing women in a ring, and they're defending it.
Who's a prominent feminist? Is there let's just say Kamala Harris. If Kamala Harris came out right now and said, "You're all bigots. This is a beautiful woman who should be allowed to compete in the Olympics," then got in the ring and said, "I'll prove it and I'll box this person," and lost, conservatives would mock Kamala all day. Mm-hmm. They'd say men shouldn't compete against women, but Kamala it's absurd. How could she supports this? She gets what she voted for. The same thing is true for Angela Carini. But people are like, we're going to stand with her because she was crying. I'm like, but she's crying and then saying, I support this.
The other thing, too, that as far as the argument that she was forced to say something, forced by what? Her dream is already squashed. Like, say whatever you want now.
She can't box ever again? What do you mean her dream is squashed? She's done completely for the rest of her life? That's it? This is her one shot, one opportunity, one...
It's all dead.
Well, imagine training
Like,
your
just-
entire life.
Yeah.
Literally, these athletes go their entire life to train for something like this, finally get to the Olympics. Their dream is to win a gold medal, and then it's squashed by a biological man that beats the crap out of you on a national stage.
I mean, there's other events that you fight in too. You would know that if you did even like 2 minutes of reading. This isn't the only boxing event that you can do to place or to get medals or whatever, right? That was how was the Khelif person supposedly disqualified from the other boxing stuff you're talking about? What were those boxing events? Like, there's other things, right?
Stage, and you don't have the intentionality behind you and what you believe in to come out and say, hey, this is wrong.
Yeah, and this whole thing reminds me of one year my friend for Halloween, she put on a fake black eye, and I was like, what's your costume? She goes, oh, I got mouthy.
Epic.
Wow.
Epic.
Fair Play for Women changed their Twitter, their X banner, to a battered woman, and it says the year male violence against women became an Olympic sport. So,
Oh, she literally competed in the 2020 Summer Olympics. she's literally done exactly this boxing competition 4 years ago. Jesus.
yeah, things are certainly getting a bit spicy, nonetheless. But you know, this is the big question. How do you handle this? And should we expect this to continue in future Olympics? I think the answer is yes, it will continue and it'll get worse. And I don't know, even if Donald Trump wins, it doesn't change European culture in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it says a lot about the current state of society that now we have Olympic Games where biological men are literally beating the crap out of women, and women are saying, no, this is a good thing. Let him beat the crap out of more women and steal everybody's gold medals.
The thing, too, is none of this would have happened in this way. Nobody would be quite this upset about it if they hadn't been trying to force men into women's sports already.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, oh, should the standard for being able to compete in women's sports be that your chromosomes are tested? Should we be testing everybody's chromosomes, the entire U.S. Olympic
This is what I
team?
find so
Is that what we should
confusing,
be
right?
doing? Because all of these, you know, you have like these male persons, right?
Show me evidence of someone who has sole XY chromosomes who is female. Not talking about the Olympic drama, but don't tell me you can't. We literally there's literally a case study that we just got linked on this right here from the National Library of Medicine. Rare case of Swyer syndrome in 2 sisters with successful pregnancy outcomes in both.
With
Right.
male characteristics. Colin Wright was talking about it. We talked about this before the show. He was saying that there's plenty of variation biologically and in the sexes, and this is a variation of a male person. These wouldn't even be questions if it wasn't that they were forcing men into women's sports.
I can answer this very, very.
Forcing men into... She's been competing since she was 19. Like... Destiny reads one article and then is an expert on Megalol. How mad are you that me reading one article makes me more informed than the retards that you literally slobber all over their cocks who read 0 articles? Also, we didn't read one article. We read like 7 or 8. I'm literally listing them in here. Can you not fucking read? I understand that you watch people who don't or can't read. Can you not read? I mean, like, what do you want to say? You have to provide more evidence than just this is your feelings because you're really, really, really upset right now, or because you just want to talk about, you know, girl dick as much as possible because it's on your mind constantly.
Very easily, just across the board.
Go for it.
You can't bet on this.
You can't bet on it.
I have been trying to bet on these fights. I can't. You've got a fight coming up with Lin Yuting tomorrow. I searched BetMGM and DraftKings. Tain't there. And then you got the next fight with Khelif coming up the quarterfinals. It's not there. And I'm like, hey man, you know, it may only be a 3% return, but free money's free money.
Mm-hmm.
So the betting odds for the Imane Khelif Karini fight was if you bet $100 on Imane, you won $3.
Oh, so you'd get 103 back.
Yes.
I've never...
Is that actually true? Can somebody link me those odds? Show me that. Show me a betting website on that. I want to see that. Is there a way we can find Olympic boxing betting Khelif? What sites do people even bet on? Those would be massive odds in one favor or another. I don't know how to read these betting odds at all. When this says negative 360, is that how much you can win? Is that like what's better for your odds? Is it negative or positive? I have no idea what these numbers mean on the site. Mike, you bet 360 to win 100 profit.
Oh, do you not understand betting odds?
Holy fucking shit. No, I don't. Talk to me. Explain it.
Negative 360, or so a positive number is how much money you'll win if you bet $100.
Okay.
And a negative number is how much money you need to bet to win $100. So negative 360 means you bet $360, and you win $100.
Okay. What? So she's like why would she be rated the low? Well, is she rated the lowest one then on this? If I'm reading this correctly?
If she is the most negative number, she is currently the favorite.
She is the favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Then was that explained backwards, or am I just misunderstanding? Does this, because I thought you said you bet 360 to win 100?
Yep. If she was plus 360, if you bet 100, you'd win 360. So like if you see positive odds, it's like X to 1. So like that person below her, that's like 100 plus 130 or whatever. That would be like 1.3 to 1 odds. And that person that's like 18 to 1 plus 1800, that would be like 18 to 1 odds.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to. Okay, hold on. Negative 360 to win 100 as betting favorite, plus 360 is betting 100 to win 360. Okay, wait. So just explain to me the difference between these first two again. So the first negative 360 means what?
You bet $360, you win 100.
Okay, and then on the bottom one, it's?
You bet $100, you win 130 for plus 130.
Okay, hold on.
I know.
Hold on. Okay. For the negative 360, okay, this means that if you bet, okay, I'm going to bet $360. If I lose, you lose it all, right?
Correct.
Okay. And if I win, then I'm getting $460 back?
If you bet $360 and they're minus 360, you win $100.
Oh, wait, you mean literally just $100?
You get $400. So yeah, you get $460 back. Correct.
Oh, okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
You get $460 back. Okay. And then if the odds are plus 130, that means that if I bet $100, I win $230. Is that what that means?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Negative numbers are the amount you have to bet to win $100. Positive numbers are just how much you'll get if you bet $100.
Okay,
I don't know who came up with this system, but
Okay.
Yeah. And betting odds are heavily based off of like money that's already been bet.
Yeah.
If you ever look at like the Super Bowl, they have bets on like the coin toss, and the coin toss is negative in both directions, obviously, because they're trying to just make money. It's stupid, They're very open like that. They're just trying to get the money bet to be even on both sides, because then they're going to win no matter what. Okay. It's all a math game. It's super interesting, honestly. Well, not that interesting. But okay.
Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Later.
Be careful.
You too.
Jesus. Okay. I can't find anything to substantiate this 3%, whatever the fuck he's saying then. If anybody has a link to anything or a screenshot, I'd be curious, but yeah. I wonder if he looked at like some ongoing tracking odds or whatever, and like as the match was ending, like if the betting market hasn't closed, they started to spike in one direction as people try to get in final bets or something. Maybe if they do that on some random betting site. I wonder if something like that happened, because I can't.
Carini fight was if you bet $100 on Imane, you won $3.
Oh, so you'd get 103 back.
Yes.
I've never seen betting odds that are that low.
It's minus 3,333. I think it might be like some of the lowest. And I think right now the Lin Yuting odds are minus 250, which isn't that bad. I think you win. What does that mean? You win like $40. But so I guess what happened was when before anybody knew what was going on.
This is the screenshot that he posted on Twitter. Oh, also, okay, I'm going to say this as a slight thing that I know to be true of financial markets, and I imagine it must be true of betting markets. It must be true of betting markets. Mathematically, it has to be true. My guess is going to be that there's going to be broad uniformity across almost all betting markets. Because if there wasn't broad uniformity, there's going to be there's a concept called arbitrage, which basically means you get to make free money when there is non-uniformity between different markets, right? Like if I'm saying that like, oh, I'm going to give you 10 to 1 odds, okay, that this guy's going to win. All right, 10 to 1. I'm so confident. And another guy's like, that's like a 50-50 match. I'm only going to give you like 1 to 1 odds, right? Well, if this guy's odds are way different than this guy's odds, then you can bet between the two and you always win. That, right? So what'll happen is people will start to bet so much on one site or not enough on another site that it'll eventually, I think the odds will come about into uniformity with each other. Otherwise, arbitrage is basically when you take advantage of different pricings across different markets. This happens in securities. This happens with currency, Forex, or whatever. Unless there's like, yeah. So I think roughly it's probably going to be, the odds are probably going to be about the same, would be my guess between every site. Yeah. Is that illegal? No, I don't think there's anything illegal about that. Or wait, I don't actually know. I don't think there would be, but. So this is wager 100 to win 31. Oh, negative 320. Okay. This is not the 3% though. Wait, so his own tweet is lying? The Lin one was pretty significant, but it's still not quite as bad as he said it was, although it's still pretty bad. But then he's referencing a different person, and they're not even what he said. Negative 3,000 in the video, yeah, and he's talking about a different person. But okay.
The betting odds for Imane was minus 150. That means if you bet $100, you'd win $66. So $100 in, 166 comes out if Imane wins. As soon as people got word that Imane had failed a gender test and was male, it dropped way down instantly. Basically, everybody started just going after it, being like, "I'm free money, baby." So I started Google searching it. I got DraftKings, I got BetMGM. I search for them, they don't come up. Other boxing matches come up. There's Olympic boxing, men's and women's. There's by different weight categories. They have the times listed, and I can't.
Can you explain why these two are so different? Poly market versus this. This has her at about 55 cents. So if you bet $1, you win about 45 cents. And this one has, if you bet $1, you win 29.5 cents. My guess is going to be the difference here is going to be in fees on the website or something like that. One is popular vote. And one, oh, true. Oh, these are different things. True. You're not even comparing the same betting market. Politics. Do they have an election one? 2024 presidential election. This is 44 cents for yes. This is 54. I don't know. They're different. If they're different, then it's either because there's fees on the website or something is happening. Something must be happening. Otherwise, if again, like anytime there's a difference, between two markets, you can make money off of that. You'll always make money between the difference, but unless there's like another fee or something else attached.
Find Khelif or Lin Yuting in these apps or on their websites. In fact, when I search the websites, it comes up on Google. You click it, gone.
Well, Khelif has lost to actual women before.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh, true. How do they deal with that? Yeah. Maybe she just wasn't that good and then move on. How do you make money off of that, though? How do you make money off of that? Fuck me, dude. I don't know. Well, I understand the concept, so we should be able to think our way through it. Let's find out. Okay. Let's say one friend tells you, if you bet $50 against me, I'm going to bet $50 against you on this bet. Okay? And whoever wins $50. Right? So I think you would say you're getting 2 to 1 odds on this particular bet, I believe, right? Let's say that another friend is willing to say, is it 1 to 1 odds or would it be 2 to 1 odds? You'd say you'd say 1 to 1, I think. You're risking 50 to win 50 more. So I think it's these 1 to 1 odds. Let's say that for another person, you're willing to risk $10, and if you risk $10, and if you risk that $10, they're willing to pay you $50. No. You stake 10, they stake 50. Your odds are 4-1 at this point, I believe. If you're getting 1-1 odds here, and you're getting 4-1 odds here, how do you make money on this? He's betting that A will win. He's betting that B will win. Down here, I'm betting that A will win. He's betting that B will win. They're 1-1 up here. They're 4-1 down here. If I stake $50 here, I could win 200. And then if I stake $50 up here, I would only win 50. No, wait. I'm sorry. Fuck. Hold on. This isn't 4-1. This would be 5-1. My bad. I was just thinking 50-10. Hold on. How does this work with securities? With stocks, if you buy... If a stock goes for $50 on one market and $30 on the other market... Wait, I understand the concept. I don't understand what the execution would look like. Hold on. No spoilers. I'm not looking at chat. We should be able to figure this out. Wait. Close this. This is fucked. This is fucked. Hold on. Okay. 5-1, 1-1. You should... Okay, conceptually, you should get... I think this should be like anytime you do arbitrage, it should be guaranteed money, right? Does this mean does it mean I can do $100 on the opposite ends on both bets? Is that how this works? So if I bet $100 here, and I bet $100 here, if B ends up winning, I would lose this 100, and then up here I would gain 100. So I would be even at the end, right? But if I win down here, I would lose this 100, and then I would win I'd win I'd win $500. So you would just keep betting both ends, basically, right? Because this always works as a hedge or insurance against this. Oh, no, wait, hold on. No, wait, fuck, hold on, we're getting there, never mind. We don't need to do that though, okay? Because our odds here are so much higher, we could just bet $50. Okay, hold on, okay. If I have 50 versus 50 here, I'm getting 1-1 odds, okay? So I walk in and I say, I'm gonna bet $100 on this person winning. And if I win on B, I get $100. That's awesome, okay? We've doubled up, all right? But then I notice there's another market down here that is grossly disproportionate, okay? 5-1 odds, okay? I think this means that as long as I'm betting, I think 1/5 the amount as I'm betting up here, I'm always guaranteed to at least break even, I think, right? 1/5. So that means that if I bet $50 here, so if I bet up here and B wins, that means that I win 100 up here and I lose 50 down here, so I've won $50. However, if A wins and I've made the same exact bet, no, not the same bet, sorry. If A wins and I win 50 here, I lose my $100 here, but I win $250 over here. So I'm guaranteed to make money as long as this bet right here is a percentage of the bet up here that is factored by the odds of the difference between the two markets. That's the answer. Okay, Jesus. Okay, that's the answer. Did that make sense, or do I need to redo this? Do we get it? Do we understand what I'm saying? Okay, it's an infinite money glitch. Okay, let me rewrite this and explain it more simply. Okay, all right. This is why arbitrage exists between markets, and this is why that's not a guaranteed win, though. It's just not to lose, right? No, it's guaranteed money. This is why arbitrage balances markets out, because when there's a large difference between the buy and sell price in one market versus another, you are guaranteed to make money. You cannot lose. You're guaranteed to make money. That's why people do arbitrage, but that's also why markets will almost always hit some level of uniformity, because people will make money off the different odds. Okay? All right, hold on. Okay. Okay, we have one bet that's giving us 1-2-1 odds. And we've got another bet that's giving us 2-2-1 odds. Okay? But they're both betting on the exact same thing. Okay? They're betting on the exact same thing. However, for the outcome of event A, these people are willing to risk 1-1. For A to happen versus B to happen. However, these people are saying, actually, we think that's twice as likely to happen here. So they're giving worse odds or larger odds depending on what side you're on. Okay, so they're laying bigger odds on the outcome of A happening. Okay, so they're paying out less basically, or you could say you're on B, right? So what happens is if you bet both sides of this, let's say that we'll say you bet $100 on A happening. Okay. And then on this market, you bet $100 on B happening. Okay. Because you're betting on opposite ends of the same event, but you're getting greater odds here on the other side happening, what happens is we can run the outcome of both scenarios in this particular event. Okay. Let's say that A wins. Okay. If A wins, then in this market here, where it's 1-1, you win an extra $100, okay? However, down here, if A won, you lost your $100, right? So we'd say here, you won nothing, okay? It was zero. However, if B wins, then up here, you've lost $100, and down here, you've made, okay, an extra $100 off of your $100, right? So you would be up $100. For a better example, I should have put 50 down here. But at worst, you're losing nothing, right? At worst, you're breaking even. And then at best, you're making money. If we adjust our bet down here, because the odds are 2-1, if we adjust our bet down here to be half the bet up here, $50, now we can say that if the outcome of A happens, all right, we win an extra $100 up here, but we lose our 50 down here as part of our bet on B. So now we're up $50, okay? However, down here, I think if B wins, if B ends up winning down here, then you lose your $100 bet up here, but down here you would win $100. Wait, so that would still be flush? Wait, would you be flush? Maybe you need to augment your bet differently. I don't know actually how this factors into what you would have to bet to be guaranteed to make money every time. But yeah, whatever your betting strategy would be, if there's different odds, you can take advantage of the difference in odds between both to bet on both sides of it, and then I'm pretty sure you can formulate this in a way where you're guaranteed to win money every single time, or at the very least, you never lose money. What if we bet 75 here? If we bet 75, then that means that up here we would lose our bet. Down here we would win 150. So we would be up $50. So we'd be up plus 50. And then if we lost up here, or no, if we won up here, then we win 100. Oh, and then we'd be up 25. Oh, that would be guaranteed money. Okay, yeah. So if we bet 75 down here and we bet 100 up here, we're always winning money every single time. Okay, there you go. I bet there's probably Yeah, somebody just linked. There's an arbitrage calculator that you can use. Is any arbitrage illegal? I don't believe so. But I don't know that 100%. Okay.
I mean,
Sure.
there's no reason you shouldn't be able to bet on it.
I mean, maybe, I don't know what the issue is.
It's not like a, predetermined.
Other people have posted that as soon as they found out, because Alex Stein's making a big deal. He's like, guys, go bet on the males to win. I mean, it's a great odds. And other people have posted the bets disappeared. Like they pulled up the websites. They were there before. Now they're gone.
What? What? So the trans gambling organizations are controlling the. What is he even implying here? Also, keep in mind that if a bunch of people are, I believe it's the case, Kyle kind of said this, but I'm pretty sure that when you're betting on websites, the odds that are given, I don't think they're ever calculated as the odds that they think someone will win or not. They're odds of people betting against each other. So if a whole bunch of people go and they bet on one end for politically retarded reasons, what you should actually do is you should actually bet on the other end, because people aren't betting now using information about who will win the fight. People are betting based on retarded fucking political motivations, having no fucking idea what they're even putting money on. So your odds are probably better than they should be on the other end of that bet. Not to say you're guaranteed to win one way or another, but the odds you're getting should be better if there's a lot of political retards, assuming that other people haven't already come in to capitalize off of the political retardation.
I think the issue, I don't know exactly how the payouts work. Maybe you guys in the chat know. Do you guys know how the betting system works? My understanding is that it's basically everybody who bets, you're basically betting against each other. So the odds change based on the amount of money in the pool, based on how the bets are going. So if 3 people are betting on Carini, then the most you can win is whatever they put in. Mm-hmm. So it's almost nothing. And that's what so everybody and their grandma was betting on Khelif to win. And so there's very little to actually win because nobody's betting that you win $3 if you. Some people.
I wonder. Yeah, the $3 thing just seems to be a lot. I don't know where he's getting it from. What about taking a look at the records of both fighters before they fought? Maybe there are reasons why people bet more on one than the other. Maybe, or
might be thinking, hey, it's a value bet. I gotta tell you, be warned though. Think about this. Imagine you're a dude, and you're pulling a Juana Man, and you go to the. Juana Man.
What's that?
It's where the basketball player gets kicked out of and it's the movie. He gets kicked out of the NBA, so then he dresses up in drag and then competes in the WNBA instead.
I gotcha. Okay.
Because he's like, I play basketball, I want a job.
First dunk ever.
Yeah. Yep. So it's a real movie. It's real. I'm not making fun of anybody. So imagine this Khelif person knows that they have testes and male testosterone and they're going to win. And so they drum up all of this controversy. Everybody runs full speed to bet as much as they can on him to win, thinking, hey, look, if I bet $100,000, I win $3,000. That's $3,000 free, right?
Sure, go for it.
And then, right before the match, Khelif goes to his buddy and says, bet against me. That $100,000. And then, and falls over. And then, boom, that $100,000, it becomes $1 million. Because Karini's odds was 10 to 1. A $100 bet won you $1,000. Mm-hmm. Now that's value. Some people might be trying to make those value bets, but I don't know if you guys who are watching have.
Now he just laid out something interesting there. Is he going to consider the fact that could Carini have thrown the match if the odds were that off? Do you think he addresses that, or pretty sure this is actually legal? Correct. This is called match fixing. Yes, obviously.
I've been able to find those bets. I'm not suggesting a $1,000 bet to make $30. Yep. I don't know.
Great ROI.
Well, some people are just put it in the stock market. It's less risky. Yeah. But I think the betting thing kind of spells it out for everybody. You can, when we look at prediction markets for elections and you look at polling, hey man, money talks, BS walks. So a lot of people will go to the polls and they'll be like, look at the polls. Kamala Harris is doing really, really well. And then I'm like, yeah, look at Vegas. Vegas doesn't like losing money. And it's not the companies, it's the individuals who are making the bets. We call that the wisdom of the crowd.
Yeah, but you have to be careful because betting on an outcome is a lot different than what a poll says, right? Like, theoretically, if I could poll people with perfect accuracy and know 1,000,000% what every person actually thinks, and I were to poll, and the polls were 49% Trump, 51% Kamala Harris, the betting odds will not be 51 to 49. The betting odds will be 99 to 1 or 100 to 0 because you know who's going to win, right? The polling difference between the two is not the same as the betting odds, right? If you know for a fact that like a politician, if they were polling like 60-40, the betting markets aren't going to think, oh, 60% supports them, 40% supports them. They must have a 40% chance of winning. Fuck no, they got like a 1% chance of winning, right? A projection or a market trying to determine the outcome of a thing is not the same thing as like polling people inside. These are two totally different things. Yeah.
So in this regard, when the betting odds for this person go down to 1.03 or minus 3,333, all of society is basically saying, we understand why men should not fight women.
Right.
They all know it. And they're going to profit off of it.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
Wait, Tim, are you trying to say that there is biological differences between men and women and that the large majority of society realizes this?
I was hanging out with some family friends, and they had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. And then the dad was just like, I learned after having these kids that there's no question about the biological differences between boys and girls, because at some point, for some reason, the boy started smashing things, and we didn't teach him to do it. And he doesn't watch the movies. He started smashing things. And then the slightly younger daughter started immediately picking up the dolls and running away to try and care for them. And they were like, no one taught them to do that. They just did it. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. The little boy just started smashing stuff and beating the dolls. And the little girl was like, no. And she picked them up and ran away with them. Well, there you go. I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys think is going to happen. Or you don't look
I can
like...
totally see him at like a Thanksgiving dinner with like a boy that's like 2 years old, like playing with like trains or whatever. And Tim's at the table was like, wow, it's really crazy how like biologically male your 2-year-old son is.
Big sports better, so I don't know if you...
I can see he got those deals with objects instead of people genes. Wow.
If you care all that much.
I just want one of these athletes to come out and say, like, I am trans or I am intersex, right? Because I feel like that really changes the narrative here. And again, I've seen mixed reporting where it's like this person got expelled from the World Championship for boxing because of high testosterone levels, and then another
You
one...
haven't seen any reporting that said that on any reputable website because you can't cite any, because you can't show any, because you're just making this up. Or you're not making it up. You probably read it on some bullshit blog spam site, on Tim's own dog shit website, or on fucking Twitter. Or you got it from your Russian, whoever the fuck emails you your talking points for the fucking day.
Are saying, male conditions at which they produce male markers. And so it seems like that would influence betting or just any kind of procedural situation here, right? It doesn't seem as straightforward as just like this person is trans and therefore is clearly biologically male. But maybe
Could you imagine growing up
here.
and being raised female and then realizing that you're a
you
male?
hear these horror stories
That's
where
like
someone
what happened to Caster Semenya. Like
Right.
growing up, like thought he was female.
We still don't 100% even know if Caster Semenya is an XY female, right? Was that information ever even confirmed?
Otherwise presents as female.
Otherwise presents as female.
And has
Benjamin Button.
And it makes you start to wonder, like, what about Brittany Griner, who looks very male and has,
right. You hear these stories of like girls being like 18, being like, oh, I've never gotten my period, and goes to the doctor, and then they like discover that person has internal testes, and that never descended.
Yeah, or like some gonadal streaks is a thing where you don't even have anything really.
It's crazy.
It's very confusing. Yeah, it could be very bizarre.
The Olympics and all these sports areas, they back themselves into a complete corner now of where I don't think you're ever going to be able to get rid of people that identify one way fighting in these sports against women, or just full-blown males beating women. I think we've reached a point in society where this is just the new normal, and now domestic violence is basically just on display for everybody to see, and now it's
Domestic violence. Okay.
celebrated too. So we've reached a very weird spot in the world of where I think this is...
What is domestic? Is anytime a man hits a woman, is that domestic? What does domestic mean? That's just male on female violence, I guess? Okay.
just going to continue getting worse. until there's some sort of, I'll use the terminology, great reset, or something
Great
drastic
reset.
happens, or somebody dies in the ring, because that's what it's going to
We were
lead
talking
to.
last night about a girl who was paralyzed by a trans player playing volleyball.
Yeah,
in high
volleyball,
school.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that a huge part of this is that we've pushed this so far as a culture that we've gotten to the point where we have now effectively done the thing that has been propagandized this whole time, which is we can no longer tell the difference between men and women.
Right.
We can't tell the difference. And we can't tell the difference enough to determine who should play against each other in the most celebrated sporting competitions in the world. We can't tell enough to determine who should be called mother half the time now. It's all very perplexing. And we've done this to ourselves. We have destroyed our culture. And it's funny, when I first started looking into this and seeing this all spring up, in like 2010, I first started writing about this in satirical plays. During that time, I think the first one was like, did a little bit, but anyway, it was finished 2013. We performed it and stuff, and everyone thought that I was crazy. I talked to my mom, and she'd be like, "That's nuts," and I'd be like, "We're moving to a place where we're erasing women." Mm-hmm.
There's still 5 minutes left in this video? No shot.
Culture that we've gotten to the point where we have now effectively done the thing that has been propagandized this whole time, which is we can no longer tell the difference between men and women.
Right.
We can't tell the difference. We can't tell the difference enough to determine who should play against each other in the most celebrated sporting competitions in the world. We can't tell enough to determine who should be called mother half the time now.
I've never heard of anyone getting paralyzed with similar speeds and balls in other sports. Even concussions are rare. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she was ever like paralyzed or anything like that. She just said that apparently. Who knows? Yeah.
It's all very perplexing, and we've done this to ourselves. We have destroyed our culture. And it's funny, when I first started looking into this and seeing this all spring up, in like 2010, I first started writing about this in satirical plays. During that time, I think the first one was like, did a little bit, but anyway, it was finished 2013. We performed it and stuff, and everyone thought that I was crazy. I talked to my mom, and she'd be like, "That's nuts," and I'd be like, "We're moving to a place where we're erasing women,"
Mm-hmm.
And we have successfully erased women because we can no longer define women.
And that's what Phyllis Schlafly said when she was campaigning against the Equal Rights Amendment, right? She said it's not about equality for men and women, it's about the deletion of...
And Kamala Harris and Josh Shapiro and all the rest of them, they want the Equal Rights Amendment.
So someone super chatted, it's on FanDuel, and so I just downloaded it. It is minus 320 odds. That means, hey, it's not bad. A $100 bet wins you $31. That's not bad.
I wonder if it's going to drop significantly by the time the fight actually happens.
Especially now with me saying it.
Yeah, everybody's going to be running the FanDuel really quick.
I am not suggesting anyone make bets on this stuff because, like I mentioned, you don't know. And it's not like there's a guarantee this person wins just because they may have, testosterone or whatever. But interesting nonetheless. Now, Imane Khelif's next opponent, Anna Lugahamori, is not scared. This is the story from the New York Post.
You should.
First Hungarian Olympic boxer faces Khelif in the quarterfinal Saturday and expresses that she has no fear. I just kind of feel like this looks like a guy. That's just me. What do you mean? But she didn't care. So this is another part of the issue I was bringing up very early on. No one supports men in women's sports more than the women who choose to participate in those sports.
Right.
Riley Gaines quit and has spoken out to a great degree and has continued to advocate against this. Taylor Silverman, who skates with us at the Boonies, has spoken out against this time and time again. So I respect and I support the women and men who are calling out males competing against females. But these women want to do it. Honest question, seriously. Should I tell Anna Lugahamori she should not be allowed to choose to fight against a male?
Well, it's going to reach like peak pinnacle once we get to the point where the NFL draft, you start seeing women. That's where I feel like it's like, the pinnacle of all of this is women serving in war. And we've already started to see that in places like Ukraine. We're going to start literally sending our women off to die.
Maternity flight suits. Mm-hmm. And also, there
Women can already serve in combat roles, no? What year is this video? Like 1968? Maybe I missed it. Maybe he just meant drafted.
You should. First Hungarian Olympic boxer faces Khelif in the quarterfinal Saturday and expresses that she has no fear. I just kind of feel like this looks like a guy. That's just me. I'm not trying to be mean, but she didn't care. So this is spoken out to a great degree and has continued to advocate against this. Taylor Silverman, who skates with us at the Boonies, has do it. Honest question, seriously. Should I tell Anna Lugahamori? That's where I feel like it's like, the pinnacle of all of this is women serving in war. And we've already started to see that in places like Ukraine. We're going to start literally sending our women off to die.
Maternity flight suits. Mm-hmm. And also, there is a female kicker. That's a thing.
Yo, Lin Yuting's odds are minus 1,450.
Wow.
Wow, that means you win like $6 for a $100 bet.
There is a campaign that was just launched, a fund from Jennifer Say, who did XXXY
I said serving in war. Maybe he just meant drafted. I don't know.
Athletics, and it's a fund to support women athletes who are speaking out against men in their sports, so that there's not the this is like what you did with Taylor, so that it's not a monetary penalty. Mm-hmm.
I gotta stress it again, man. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool all the people some of the time. You can't fool all the people all the time. And when you look at betting odds, you can do Taylor. You can do a man on the street and go to New York, and I guarantee you're gonna a bunch of these progressives in Times Square being like, yeah, I think it's great, I think it's fun. Then you say, okay, want to make a bet? Mm-hmm. Make a bet. That's a video for you. You should do that. Be like, put down $100 right now on the woman to beat the man. Do it. They're gonna be like, no way. I'm like, I don't want to give away money.
Tim, who's like famous for making some of the worst predictions in the history of all of alternative media, talking about betting to back up your positions. Didn't who was the guy that bet that crypto dude $1 million? Didn't he bet Tim? Didn't he offer to wager Tim on like 5 different predictions he made, and Tim just dodged every single one? Medlock? Yeah, didn't he just do that recently? Like,
thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you all there.
True. Now seems like a funny moment to point out that Quidditch is a mixed-sex, full-contact sport. That's true. Why didn't J.K. Rowling have it divided between male teams and female teams? How is it that J.K. Rowling could write Harry Potter? What happened to her? Her brain got annihilated by trans people. Jesus.